Carolina, 2021. And it says schools closed down as parts of Cape Coast, Accra, are flooded after heavy rains. I read. Many parts of the country have experienced heavy rainfall, with some regions enduring up to 6 hours of the downpour on Friday, October 1. Roads have been rendered impassable with their resultant heavy traffic in the capital, Accra. The areas affected include Kaneshi First Light, Dansoman Junction, amongst other adjoining areas. In the central region, the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital was not spared. Some wards have been flooded, leaving patients on admission stranded, whilst health personnel struggle to attend to them. Some schools affected by the flood have been forced to shut down. The National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, is at the scene together with other officials from the Ghana National Fire Service, GNFS, according to Joy News' Richard Kwejo Nyako. However, no casualty has been recorded. My brother, my sister, yes, flooding. It rained. Some areas had over 6 hours of rain, as reported by this news portal. My brother, my sister, a hospital in Cape Coast would have to deal with the flood. People on admission. My brother, my sister, if you look at the pictures, you will realize that it's a sad situation. Flooding is a natural disaster. It can happen. But it ceases to be a disaster unforeseen when it continues over and over. How many people do not know that anytime it rains in Accra, there's a flood? Even if it's 1 inch of rain, even if it rains for 1 second, there's always a flood. It means it is no longer an unforeseen occurrence. It is something that we have come to see as normal. My brother, my sister, what causes flooding? It's very simple. Flooding has to do with water. Now, if there is the downpour of rain or water, and it is not evacuated as quickly as it drops, there certainly would be flooding. In this case, we need our drainage system to be up to date. My brother, my sister, when has it ever rained in this country and there was no flood? We are lucky to hear that nobody died, at least so far. We are to bear with the situation a few years back when little babies were floating on flood waters in this country. My brother, my sister, my big question is, if an unforeseen circumstance all of a sudden becomes a foreseen circumstance, it means that we have to sit up as a nation and deal with this. It is so embarrassing that we claim that we are building roads. It is so embarrassing that we claim that we are fixing the country, yet our drainage systems are still not working. My brother, my sister, what chokes our drainage systems? What suffocates our drainage systems? Our own behavior. How many people throw rubbish around anyhow? How many people sit in the throw and still throw away wrappers and all those kinds of things? We live in a country where food is still being sold in newspapers. We live in a country where we still believe that to eat food from a certain leaf is so healthy. Therefore, we go to our wache base and everybody wants to buy the wache in a certain leaf. Listen, we in this country eat wache a lot. And most of the time, this wache is served in a leaf. Are we thinking about the environment? One, environmental degradation. The plant that provides this leaf Imagine the whole country eats wache, which is the case right now. Every region in Ghana eats wache. Wache is fast becoming the commonest food in Ghana, ahead of even fufu. And if we have to eat our wache in leaves, the specific plant that provides that leaf, what are we doing to protect it? Are we being able to plant more of those? Or are we waiting till the tree becomes extinct? Then we look for another plant to make extinct? Leave that aside. Now the leaves that we even harvest to come and serve our wache, my brother, my sister, where do we dispose of the leaves? A lot of these leaves find their way into the gutters. In Ghana, almost everything happens in the gutter. Our drainage systems. We sell food by the gutter. We have sex in the gutters. We urinate in the gutters. We do everything in the gutters. In fact, we have had instances where people have said that the food that is served next to the gutter is the best. We have seen people living clean food and running all the way to the food that is served next to a stinking gutter because they believe in some kind of deity of death that makes the food more palatable as long as it's sitting on the gutter. We have become too religious. We no longer even think about spirituality. And it doesn't matter to us what the scriptures say, that cleanliness is next to godliness. This is one of the dirtiest places you can find. In fact, when I was returning from Nigeria a couple of weeks ago with Bishop Osei Tutu, hear me now, at the airport, I saw a writing on the wall and I was so excited. It said the Ghana airport has been voted twice as the best airport in terms of services and neatness across the whole of Africa. And my brother, when you arrive in Ghana, Nigerians arrive in this country and the beauty of the airport shocks them. We have seen Jim Ike, we have seen Omotola Jolade, and many more well-meaning Ghanaians and Nigerians who have said time and again that this airport is beautiful. Why am I talking about this airport? Now the airport is the gateway to the country. If you leave a beautiful airport, very clean airport, and then you enter into a country that has its drainage systems choked, a country that floods every second, what have you achieved? What have you achieved? Tell me. I sympathize with the hospital that is sitting on floodwaters. I sympathize with the school pupils and students who have to go home because of this rain. But I have one message for all of us. We have to be responsible citizens, all of us, from the leadership all the way down. If the leaders desilt all these drainage systems, if our leaders desilt all the gutters, and we still go ahead to dump rubbish and all that into the gutters, my brother, we will not have achieved anything. It saddens my heart. Today, it took me over 3 hours to move from my house into the studio. My brother, my sister, let's all be well-meaning people. Now, you all want to go to America. You have a visa and you want to go to America and you sell everything you have in Ghana because you have finally gotten a key to heaven. America is America today because the citizens have vowed to be responsible. In our country, we have stupid proverbs that continue to hold us down. Aben Juma, Onswa, Ocho. All those stupid remarks we utter day in and day out, and some evil spirit picks it up and decides to make it a signature of the country. Why, O ye Ghanaians? And when we want to talk, Minister of Interior comes out to say that, oh, compare Ghana to other countries, neighboring countries. You realize that we are better off. A second fiddle country. We always want to play second fiddle. Oh, we are better than Burkina Faso, so that's it. Oh, we are better than Togo, so that's it. Oh, we are better than Afghanistan. Oh, that's it. And Minister of Interior is happy. Such childish remarks. It's sad that some of our leaders speak like this. IGP comes to tell us that, oh, this is not heaven, so expect more crime. ACP Kwesiofori comes out to say that, oh, armed robbery is not increasing in this country. It's just isolated cases. And I'm like, oh, a people that decide to play the ostrich, my brother, my sister, end up in the cooking pot of the hunter. I repeat, a people that decide to play the ostrich end up in the cooking pot of the hunter. When the hunter is chasing the ostrich, all it does is that it assumes, or it wants to believe, or it wants to live in that fool's paradise where it believes that there is no assailant. There's nobody pursuing it. So it hides its head in the sand. And it says that as long as I don't see any enemy, I am safe. So the hunter loves to chase the ostrich. It never loses. It will catch it, slaughter it, and that day will be a big feast for the family, because the stupid ostrich would become the fat content of the cooking pot. My brother, my sister, we are an ostrich nation. We like to run away from our own problems. We do not want to take the bull by the horn. In fact, we have become a rag doll that has been wagged up and down like a pendulum by that bull, instead of taking that bull by the horn. Somebody won't understand. It's too deep for somebody. My brother, my sister, I sympathize with all the people in Cape Coast. I sympathize with all the people who have to go through some flooding. Early this morning when it started raining, my prayer was that, oh Lord, let us not come out of this rain and say some people have lost their lives. Remember that this flood will never take the house of Nana Akufo-Addo. Remember that this flood will never take over the house of Nana Akufo-Addo. Remember, my brother, my sister, that the politicians that you kill yourselves for, they make sure that every inch of their drainage system is desilted. They make sure that not an iota of flood water would ever touch them and make them victims. Remember that. So that next time you go to vote, you vote for people who have brains, people who have a heart. Some people are heartless. They only think about themselves. And when they do that, my brother, my sister, we become the sacrifice. Today, I did not intend to talk about this. It has happened one too many times. Every time it rains, we have to come out and sing this Sankey. We have to come out and sing this dirge. Somebody would have to go down the drain. We all remember the day when it rained, coupled with fire. How people lost their lives. We still haven't learnt our lesson. We are still experiencing floods. I hope that we'll be able to deal with this. I pray that our people will deal with their attitudes. They are those who are making the drainage systems clog up. You throw things in there, and we are those who will suffer. May I not prolong this too much. Let me leave it here and go to another issue. My brother, my sister, away from the flood waters, I want to look at another thing here. Nana Akufo-Addo has spoken, and this is contained right here on City Newsroom, and this was published today, the 1st of October 2021. It says police will deal decisively with rising threats posed by criminals. So ACP Kwesiofori says that crime is not rising. In fact, he limited it to armed robbery. President comes out to say crime is rising and police will deal decisively with that. IGP is calling celebrities who have been robbed by armed robbers to tell them to take it easy, that they will smoke out all those armed robbers. ACP Kwesi Ofori says armed robbery is not on the rise. It's just isolated cases. As I said, he's my friend. So we leave it here. But let's look at what the president said. Police will deal decisively with rising threats posed by criminals. That's Nanado. President Akufo-Addo has given assurances that the Ghana Police Service and other security agencies will deal decisively with the increasing spate of armed robberies and other violent crimes in the country. Did you hear that? I'll take it again. President Akufo-Addo has given assurances that the Ghana Police Service and the other security agencies will deal decisively with the increasing spate of armed robberies and other violent crimes in this country. Speaking at the graduation ceremony of the 50th Cadet Officers Course in Accra, Nana Akufo-Addo said he appreciates the concerns of Ghanaians about the security situation, but added that he's certain his country's security agencies will quickly address it. You see, he's spoken well. That was what I expected ACP Kwesi Ofori to be saying. Yes, we appreciate the concerns. Yes, we appreciate the fact that armed robberies are rising. It's all because of the hardships in the country. So for that matter, and also hardships in other neighboring countries. Because of that, other people are coming into our country and all they are doing most of the time is criminal activities. But the police is here to deal with that. That's what ACP Kwesi Ofori should have said. But he said he rubbished the rising armed robbery situation in this country and said it's just isolated cases. He has not apologized yet. He hasn't. Hey, every second be armed robbing them. People are robbing night and day. It's become terrible. And now Mr. President is forced to come out and acknowledge it. Yet the PR of the police, well, my brother, my sister, there's armed robbery in this country. The crime rate is increasing. And this is the president saying it. I just wish that the president would have added it. Because of the bad way we have managed this economy. Because of the selfish, irresponsible way my government has handled the economy of this country, I admit that crime is increasing because people are hungry. But two wrongs don't make a right. Hunger should not make you kill another man to be able to take away what he has. That's what I expected the president to also say. Because your government is so lousy. Your government is a government of thieves. Your government is a government of luxury. Flying left, right, and center. Still bent on getting a private jet for yourself and your flying ilk. You are still bent on building a useless cathedral. Yet, small floodwaters are taking over hospitals and schools. Uncle AOP, to those of you who always read political underpinnings and undertones into some of these well-meant statements, posterity will judge you. We all have different opinions. Some of you worship the president because probably you benefited from one or two things that he's done. But look at the bigger picture and stop being selfish. If the president has given your son the chance to go to SHS for free, look at the number of people who are dying out there because of his decision not to have hospitals and not to even respect teachers, doctors, and nurses. Let's look at all these things so we can have a better country. My brother, my sister, listen. No investor is interested in a crime-infested country. I didn't want to say this, but I will have to. A country that is full of crime, a country that is bedeviled with crime, it's not a country that is attractive to investors. Year of return. We all saw those wonderful Hollywood actors. They came here and danced Agbaja and Palogo. And after a few moments, they found their way back to Hollywood. The year of return. We saw the multitudes who flooded this country and went to the Elmina Castle, the Cape Coast Castle, shed tears and solidarized with the people and their ancestors. Moments later, they found their way back to the slave master's land. The year of return, we saw how energetic the diaspora was in coming to our country. And this is one of the best countries in the whole Africa, where we have strong and very powerful histories concerning our people. There's no Pan-Africanism without Ghana. No wonder they say this is the gateway to Africa. Those of you who love history, those of you who read history, you will know that even the Back to the Africa movement, long before Marcus Garvey even thought about it, long before Marcus Garvey was even born, people from this country, Otubaku Guano, and many more, my brother, my sister, started it. Some succeeded in bringing people home. Coffee brought people home. Chief brought people home. Otuba brought people home. My brother, my sister. But today, Ghana is one of the worst when it comes to Pan-Africanism. The so-called gateway to Africa has become the gateway to sky bathing. Your president is not a Pan-Africanist. He is always wearing oversized suits that are tailored in France. Is this a Pan-Africanist? Your president's shoe is more expensive than Queen Elizabeth's shoe. Your president, I don't know if he wears bulletproofs inside his thing. He's always looking as if he's been inflated, like an inflated balloon for Christmas. Walking around in that oversized suit. He is not a Pan-Africanist. He is a pretentious, irresponsible Pan-Africanist. I tell you what. Hear me. I have never seen a pretentious president like this president that we have. And I say it with no fear of all of you. When you have the facts, it's like you have a dynamite in your hand. Whoever coughs, you open the dynamite in their faces, boom, they explode. The truth is that powerful. And let me give you the facts. The father of modern day Pan-Africanism is Kwame Nkrumah. Anybody who hates him cannot be a Pan-Africanist. True or false? Nana Akufo-Addo has done everything he can to denigrate the legacy of Kwame Nkrumah. Thanks to people like us. We have faced him boot for boot. Thanks to people like Kwesi Pratt Jr. We have faced him boot for boot. Now they are trying to face out the 2 Ghana cedi. All because he has the head of Kwame Nkrumah on it. A lot of the people who came here during the year of return were only here because of Kwame Nkrumah. They were only here because of our ancestors, not because of J.B. Dankwa. Not one soul came here during the year of return because of J.B. Dankwa. Or because of Akufo-Addo, Edward Akufo-Addo. Or because of Akwanje. Or because of Pawuli. Or of Oriata the First. None of them. When Oforiatta the first had the opportunity to have citizens of this country get some education, what did he do? He gave it only to Achim people who were very close to him. He made sure that only Achim people close to the royal family, they were the only people he sent. There was a scholarship for all. You should read, Ghanaians. Read. It came to a time, he made it into almost a law that an Achim person should only marry a rich person so that you could eat into a rich family. Or else all Achim should marry. Achim to Achim, don't marry any other person. Read history. The father of nepotism in this country is Oforiatta. And who is Oforiatta? That's the president's grandfather. So these people have a history of hate for this country. No wonder J.B. Dankwa wanted this country to be called Akan land. And when Nkrumah approached him and said, it's not only Akans who live here. He said, oh, but the Akans are in the majority. Later, they decided to say that J.B. Dankwa was the person who named this country Ghana, when he wanted this country to be called Akan land. I don't want to go too much into the histories. But my brother, my sister, we have a president who pretends to be a Pan-Africanist. I've never seen a pretending president like this. Pan-Africanist. Yet he wears suits more than Jacques Chirac. Yet he wears suits more than Barack Obama. Yet he wears suits, my brother, my sister, more than Joe Biden. Yet the same pretentious president will come here and tell you, oh, support made in Ghana products. Oh, during the COVID-19, what did he say? Eat dawa dawa. Visit the president's house and see if he eats dawa dawa. When he's sitting on that private jet, producer, show me the picture of the president in the private jet and see if he's eating dawa dawa there. He's eating pizza, lasagna. He's eating French delicacies, American delicacies. After all, he's a product of America and England combined. I don't like this president. I've said it over and over. When he came, we all were crazy. I've said it time and again. This is my president. But I'm not ashamed to come back and say that I don't like this president. That's what it is. You are sitting in a private jet and you are eating French and American delicacies. You are wearing your oversized suit tailored by somebody in France or England or America. Yet you say support made in Ghana products. See, which one of the things on the president's table here is a Ghanaian product? Pizza and all those things are there. Lasagna and all those things. He's going to sit there and flex. After that, you watch Van Damme movie. What happened to Kumawood? Why don't you watch an Ejako movie? After all, Ejako is one of your biggest supporters. Why are you not watching the Chewa movie? So that the whole world would at least see that you have supported Ghanaian products. But no. These guys would not do that. I leave it here. Crime is in this country. Attitude is terrible. Courtesy for boys and girls. How many of you have read that? When I went to school, it was one of the books that they forced us to read. Today, do they have that? I bought it for my children and I made sure they read it. Courtesy for boys and girls. Have you read it? Small book like that. Courtesy. Common courtesy. No. Right now we are on social media and we can be as disrespectful as we can. That's all the courtesy we know. Nobody reads anymore. They are interested in gossips. Who was raped who? Who has had sex with who? Whose sex tape is out there, and everybody, people are even calling each other to find out if they have whose sex tape, that sex tape. And all the books that develop us are not being read. I sympathize with writers in this country. How much do you make? Do people read at all? Nobody reads. They are all on social media playing the buffoonery. My brother, my sister, we leave it here. To God be the glory. So the president has spoken, and that's that. Now I'm going to look at this. It was published yesterday. It was one of the things I wanted to look at, but I just shelved that for today. Special prosecutor to chase Ghanaians living big and suspicious, luxurious lifestyles. And this is on Peace FM Online. Was published today, yesterday, the 30th of September, 2021. Special prosecutor to chase Ghanaians living big and suspicious, luxurious lifestyles. Please, go after the president first. Please. You are to chase Ghanaians living big and suspicious, luxurious lifestyle. Go after the president. This is a special prosecutor talking. Go after the president. The president is living an exorbitant lifestyle. Crunchingly exorbitant lifestyle. Beyond luxury. Hey! Even Kwame Nkrumah, who gave us our independence, did not bath in the skies. The president has gone into the Guinness Book of Records. He wants a private jet that has 2 different bedrooms. He has a private jet. He wants one that has 2 different bathrooms. Go after him. Go after those who are building the cathedral. Find out where they are getting the money from. These are the big guys. Go after Gabi or Chidakun. Go after all those guys living big. Go after them. And special prosecutor, stop all this noise. Just act. Every day, special prosecutor to do this. Special prosecutor to just do it, my brother. It's not about noise. It's only a coward who threatens. Go ahead and let it work. We are fed up with the too much talk shop. Let us see action. You've been given the fire. Burn. But start with the president. Start with your president. I leave it here. Sure. My brother, my sister, so many different things we have to look at today, and you all need to be better citizens. Look, whichever president comes, they can do all that they can if the citizenry is still this irresponsible. If the citizenry is still this ubiquitously irresponsible, my brother, my sister, we will continue languishing in poverty. We will continue, my brother, living in foolishness. We have to be better. Common sense must take a walk in the park. I'm going to look at this too. Same special prosecutor. He says he is not going to Martin Amidu to seek advice because Martin Amidu insults him. He says, I will not go for advice from a man who insults me. Well, I agree with you. Martin Amidu has proven beyond all doubt that he's a useless special prosecutor. Useless. Do you remember when he was picked up as the special prosecutor? How we jubilated left, right, and center. The arrogance that followed afterwards. We realized that this is an empty shell. He's a talkative who operates a talk shop that nobody can ever inundate with noise. Martin Amidu is a letter writer, postmaster at Ave Postmonu. They are waiting for him to make him a king. He's not going there. My brother, my sister, we have never seen a special prosecutor this lousy. Anyway, we have had 2 so far, right? Look what Martin Amidu did. And he still had the guts to come back and tell us, oh, Nana Akufo-Addo is the mother serpent of corruption. He has a lot of lexical prowess. That's Martin Amidu. He's a man of lexicology, lexical prowess and power. Shakespearean English, #1. Elizabethan English, #1. Hey! Chaucean English, #1. But action, 0. You had the opportunity to crack the whip. You had the opportunity to let every Ghanaian see that you were ready for the work, only for you to flaunt yourself in absolute arrogance. Only for you to flaunt yourself in ubiquitous arrogance. Listen, man. New special prosecutor says he's not ready to go to Martin Amidu because he insults him. I don't think that is a good enough reason. If you are not going to him because you think that it's not worth it, I support you. I don't think it's worth it. He's a talk shopper. But a man can insult you, but you know that there is something you can take from the man. Take the insult. Play wise to catch. Play fool to catch wise. That's what the Jamaicans say. You play fool if you catch wise. Don't be penny wise and pound foolish. If this is a senior lawyer and you think that there are a few things you can get from him, forget the insults. Play wise. Get it, and that's it. Again, I said, if his reason for not going to Martin Amidu is because Amidu is an empty shell, then I agree with you. I think it's an empty shell too. A noise maker, a letter writer, a man full of lexical ability. That's it. I leave it here. I think special prosecutor is beginning to talk too much. He should watch it and then just let the work flow. Flow with the work. Let it happen. My brother, my sister, we have many more things to talk about. Hallelujah. So many different things. Have you heard about the Budumburam situation? How many of you have heard about Budumburam? The Liberian camp. Now they want the people to go. The Liberian people, and according to the government, they have only 400 people who are legally registered, and the government is going to deal with them as in compensation, whatever they call those things. Well, this is my opinion. During the Liberian War, Ghana accepted some of the refugees. They've lived with us. But my own search came out with something interesting. There were more Ghanaians in the camp than Liberians themselves. Hear me? At Budumburam, the Budumburam Liberian camp, at the helm of its activities, there were more Ghanaian refugees in there than Liberian refugees. I went there to perform for them. There's nobody in the camp there who doesn't know me or hasn't heard about me, because I showed a lot of love and empathy for the situation of our African brothers who had been kicked out of their comfortable homes because of war. In fact, I became a pseudo ambassador to the camp. So I went there, observed a few things there, And I realized that there were more Ghanaian refugees in the Budumburam Liberian camp. That's a refugee camp, more than Liberians themselves. And most of the time, the Ghanaians even bullied the Liberians. This is our country. Who are you? Blah, 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 blah. Land that was given to the Liberians. Finally had Ghanaians taking over the land and claiming the refugee status away and from the Liberians, and we're living there. Crime spiraled, skyrocketed to the acme, to the zenith. Hear me now, my brother. Almost every second, there was a criminal activity happening in the camp there. Police sometimes would even go there. And if it was a Ghanaian, they had a way of taking money, whatever it was, and making the matter die out. But when some of the Liberians couldn't pay, they were locked up 1 or 2 times. I had to go to the police and try to find out what was happening and how could be solved. Things could be solved. What am I trying to say? Today, a lot of the Liberians have returned home. Some have found their way to America. The few that are still lingering around there. Oh, Jesus. May I ask a question? Now, after the refugee status in this country for several years, was there the possibility, was there a chance for some of these Liberian refugees to be absorbed into the Ghanaian system and be naturalized as Ghanaians? Because I know that when a refugee goes out to America and those places, there is normally a chance for them when they seek asylum, in fact, to be part of the system. Did they give them the opportunity? A lot of Liberians said that they had lived in Ghana for so long, they had become Ghanaians now, and they wanted to remain here. Was there an opportunity to have them join the country as one of us? Or automatically they had to all return to Liberia? Now we are being told, if you read that story, that the government gave some money out to some of the refugees to return home. How about those who chose to stay? Have they become part of the system? How has the system rehabilitated them? How about the fake Ghanaian refugees who have gone to the camp and inundated it? What has happened to them? Today there's a big confusion. We hear they are going to clear the whole place. It is good to clear the place and bring some sanity. But have the people been prepared enough? At least those 400 legal ones, have they been prepared enough psychologically? Remember, the way you treat refugees in this country, you will be treated same or worse in other countries. As long as there's dictatorship and foolishness in Africa, you could be a refugee at any point. Today we have Guinean refugees flying left, right, and center. Afghanistan, their refugees are flying left, right, and center in front of American planes. They won't allow the planes to go. They want to be taken to America. They say if you want to see how good a man is, watch how he treats people under him. If you want to see the real character of a man, watch how he treats his subordinates. Oh, you get out, go, 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 like that. Watch how he sees people who are under him, or people who are supposed to be benefiting from him. When you see the way he treats them, then you can tell what kind of a man that man is. Same way, the way we treat the people who are benefiting from us in terms of these refugees and some other such people. Remember that it's not a favor. It could happen to you. We were also refugees some time ago. Remember when we ran away to Nigeria in the 80s? When hunger kicked all of us out, we became by force refugees in Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. We all ran away to Nigeria. Those of us who could teach some small English, we taught Nigerians how to speak good English. Stop saying signature and say signature. Stop saying lecturer when you can say lecturer. Stop saying cotton when you can say curtain. We went to teach Nigerians how to speak proper English. But ask me again, our proper English, how far has it taken us to? Noise on radio, on TV. Nothing. Nigerians took us, fed us, until Shagari got mad and kicked all Ghanaians out, including Daddy Bosco, put them on ships. Rawlings went to pick them up from the ship and brought them to Ghana. My brother, this long talk is simple. We all can be refugees at any time. Let's treat refugees better. Let's treat refugees better. Liberia, I love you. I love you. And this goes out to my very good friend, Oponwia, who I have interviewed on this show before, who I've had dinner with before. Liberians have had a lot of trust in you. Liberians have seen you as a man who was bringing them a ray of hope. I don't think they are looking at that right now. I don't think they are seeing you as the ray of hope now. From what I'm hearing from Liberia, there's still an opportunity for you to reinvent yourself. There's still an opportunity for you to be able to protect your good name. You coach the Liberian national team, the Lone Stars. Is it the Lone Stars? Not the Lone Stars. Lone Stars is Sierra Leone, right? The Liberian national team. You coached them from your own money. You became the only player in the history of this world to be a player and at the same time be a coach and at the same time be a financier of the team. You did so well. The people trusted you, but it looks like they are losing trust for you. Whatever you might have done wrong, I don't know. I don't live in Liberia. I don't know too much about Liberia. Reinvent yourself. A good name is better than riches. Oponwia, please let the people clap for you at the end of your tenure. Remember how you miraculously became president. Miraculously please the people and make them happy. To God be the glory. God bless Liberia. I leave it here. My brother, my sister, we're going to look at the very last thing and we are done. Jesus. Mr. President is saying that, well, I read, he says, Dampari has vindicated my decision to appoint him. He will soon be confirmed. And Dampari is the new IGP. Yes, Ghanaians love him. Oh, just a few days after he's been made IGP, at least he's not speaking to us the language of heaven, there's no crime. At least he's in traffic, also enjoying the heat that the ordinary Ghanaian enjoys. At parties, he's serving his own subordinates. Dampari, for the first time, is picking up phone to call celebrities and tell them we've heard about the robbery. Please, give us a little bit of time. We will deal with the robbery. In the meantime, what do we do to make you a little comfortable? That's an IGP. But again, Dampari, this president is a pretentious president. He pretends he hates crime. Yet, in the words of Martin Hamidou, the empty shell, he is the mother serpent of corruption. Please, don't let him garnish you with his words. He speaks English like Queen Elizabeth. He knows all the adjectives announce that he can bring together to garnish you like a cake. Do your work. Don't listen to the president. Work very hard. Your boys are still on the street asking Ghanaians to give them bribe. Sack 200 of them in a day. Let them go and enjoy prison terms or sack them. When you do that, the police service will be clean. And check the age of the police people. Some of them are 82, yet on paper they are 42. I see an old policeman from a village that is not too far away from Kumasi. I think they call it Chapatre. I have known this man from when I was 20. The last time his son told me that his father is in the police service. I said, has he retired? Oh, he laughed. He will retire, I think, next year or 2 years or 3 years or 4, 5, 6 or 7 years time he will retire. Say, on paper, he's 42. But in real terms and real life, he's 82. There are a lot of policemen and women who have cut their ages by 40 years off. That is why they can't chase armed robbers. Fill the police service with vibrant youth, clean-minded youth. If I were you, I would stop all the police recruitments now and purge. In Nigeria they say purge. Purge the police service. If you have bad nuts and bring good nuts, you mess up the two. Who does not understand? If you have bad nuts and you bring in good nuts, no matter how many good nuts you bring in, you would spoil everything. Clean out the bad nuts and bring in the good nuts. Because all the young recruits coming in, so vibrant and so strong, some of them very sexy young police girls, you look at them, they are new shapes and all that, you're like, Ghana police is getting better. Sometimes I drive on the street and I watch them and say, blood and fire, blouse and skirts. Pretty and nice. Unlike in the days, you see a policeman, with all respect, my grandfather was a policeman, so when I talk about police, I doff my hat and I salute police. I love you, police. Hear me now. But some people are trying to destroy the police service. Your boss, you know that he's 69. Yet on paper, he's 25. In fact, your boss's son was your classmate in school. And even that one was 1 year older than you. Today on paper, you are 2 years older than your classmate's father. Is it mathematically sound? All because of one thing, IGP, and I'll leave you with that. Retirement. Nobody wants to retire in Ghana. They want to refire. They might perspire. They will never ever retire. Because retirement means go home and die. The retirement package is a comic relief. The retirement package is nothing but a piece of bloated nonsense. Make the retirement benefits powerful. Every policeman who retires must have a house. Or have a very beautiful estate for every policeman who retires. Until the policeman dies after retirement, he would occupy that building and make it luxurious. At least 4 bedrooms, air conditioned, nice garden. They would only move out after the 5 years or so after the policeman has died, so that the family can put itself together to move out. That's if you cannot build them houses. Start deducting money from their salaries right now, so that in retirement they can have a good life. not the peanuts that you pay them and deduct peanuts that cannot do anything. Jesus have mercy. IGP, if you take this and work it out in consonance with the government, things will be better. I leave it here. I was going to talk about this other thing. I think I have 1 minute more to deal with it. Akufo-Addo receives Guinean military delegation, reiterates call for return to democracy. Let me read the first paragraph. The President of the Republic, Nana Akufo-Addo, on Wednesday, the 29th day of September 2021, received a 3-member delegation from the Guinean military junta, the National Committee for Reconciliation and Development, CNRD, at the Jubilee House, Accra. The delegation, led by Colonel Sadiba Koulibaly, said in command of the CNRD, that's the second in command of the CNRD, was at the seat of Ghana's presidency to update President Akufo-Addo, the chairperson of the ECOWAS authority, on the roadmap that has been put in place to ensure a smooth transition and return to democratic constitutional rule in Guinea. Oh, that's good. That's good. They want to return the country to civilian rule, democracy. That is very good, isn't it? We like to hear that. But as we are talking about civilian rule, we're talking about what is it called, democracy. Let us also look at service to the people. I'll leave you with one question. The president, and I'm not talking about Nana Akufo-Addo, president in any African country, the president, the position of the president, is it a servant position or is a kingly position? Is the president a servant or a king? If you answer this question, then you would know who should fly in a private jet and who should drive on the land. Think about it. My name Blakk Rasta has been the Black Pot, aka Kuku Show No More. I love you, Ghana. Oh my God. To my people in Liberia, you know that I love you. And I want to see Liberia get better and better and better every time. We want to see Liberia grow better, thicker, and even nicer. Love you, Liberia.